All right. Should you have a long, strenuous morning routine? Alex Hormozy, the $100 million man, is all for you wake up, you open your laptop, yeah? Before you even brush your teeth, you open your laptop, you get to work. And then a lot of like the newer entrepreneurs that you're gonna see, and some of them more spiritually aligned entrepreneurs are gonna tell you that they have very long, extensive morning routines where they meditate, they read, they do that. I remember one guy, very credible, right? Owner, one of the co-founders at EYL. You can go search out whatever, but talking about like how he meditates for like over an hour. I can't remember, something like that. I remember him saying it. So for those of you who are similar to me and you're quite spiritually aligned, like you're very spiritual people, you believe in God or maybe or whatever you believe in, but you're spiritually aligned, and you can be torn between, should I be spending that time doing that self work, doing that meditation, doing that like proper taking time, so I can get my mind right, or should I just go straight into work? Am I wasting time? Should I get straight into it? So I'm gonna try and give you some help from my perspective, just being someone who is on the road to seven figures and has been in business for the last or properly in stuck into business for the last 4 or 5 years, right? So here's my take thing, right? Here's my take. We did a two events last year, and on the early event, I spoke a lot about like my routine and how I'd read, do breath work, I'd do X, Y, Z, and you know, even at that point, I had learned something, which is like you adapt things to you. You understand? Adapt things to you. So I don't think you need to be cold turkey with it and say as soon as you wake up, you open the laptop and go. I don't think that's healthy for pretty much anyone, but I'm sure, there's people that are going to argue and say that, that's what they do, right? They get straight to it and it works for them and it helps them. So, everybody, I mean, look, for some people it's fine, but for some of us, I'm gonna be honest with you, this ain't no excuse, this isn't no whatever. Some of us are coming from different things, you know what I mean? Some of us are still doing healing, some of us are still doing self-work. We have things to heal from, traumas and self-work to do. Me 100%, I know that. And some of us have, a lot of negative thought patterns and subconscious sort of things we're holding on to that aren't helping us. So every day, or every other day or week in business can feel like you're fighting against yourself, right? Maybe like you've got this deep procrastination that you keep getting slumped into. Maybe like you have a big fear of certain things. Maybe you've got imposter syndrome. So it like you want to just dive into it, and you might not be at that stage where you can do the whole Alex Hormozy thing or whatever thing and just wake up and just go and then just be forever charged. And that's where the disconnect comes with some of us and that whole wake up and go, right? So some of us do need a bit of a morning ritual. And like, I'll give you mine, for example, right? Because it's really been shortened. I will basically wake up. I'm always gonna pray. That's one thing for me, right? I'm not gonna ask for all the things in the world. I'm not gonna like start talking for 25 minutes, 30 minutes. Now, I just like as soon as I wake up, I'll brush my teeth. That's normal, of course. Wash my face. That's normal. And then I'll sit up and I'll say a quick prayer. Mainly just mainly just being grateful. And that's what a lot of people have, that routine where they write three things and all of that. Mainly, I'm just gonna be grateful. I'm just gonna be thankful for the day, for everything, for flipping waking up. Like that's a big thing, right? And that takes like 5 minutes or less. And then I sit down in the same room and I meditate. You understand? Now this is where the go straight to it guys will turn off and cringe. But listen, I meditate for 5 minutes, and how I've mastered this meditating for 5 minutes is I'll turn on my timer on my phone or my watch. My watch is currently broken; it'll be back soon. I'll turn on a timer, and I use the timer for a lot of things, right? But yeah, for my meditation, I turn on that 5 minutes. Now, does that mean I go into this deep meditative state that a lot of meditators do and go and aim for? Oh, yeah, I don't. I probably don't. Most of the time, I probably do not. But what I do is I mix it and I use it to work on my breathing. All right. So I just use that 5 minutes to slow down, close my eyes, and breathe. Yeah. And breathe. And 5 minutes of just flipping breathing and just silence and just sitting with myself and my thoughts is enough to kill like any anxiety, procrastinate, like kill a lot of things that would later end up like holding me back if I just tried to just go in, get, and get stuck in there. So that 5 minutes is enough for me. I get it done. It's easy. And I love, bite sizing things down to like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes and having a timer because there's never no excuse. 5 minutes is never gonna make or break. It ain't gonna make or break shit. You know what I mean? There's no difference if you start 5 minutes after you meditate or you don't do the meditation. There's no difference to your day. That 5 minutes ain't doing shit. I don't care what nobody says unless you've got something to do like very early in the morning and 5 minutes. But let's be honest here. What extra are you getting done in 5 minutes? No real work anyway. So that 5 minutes is worth it for me and probably for most people. You understand? And I learned to meditate like that. Like I meditated for like almost a straight year last year. I think I had a few days off, then I was straight back onto it. And what I learned whilst doing it consistently, because I'd always done it on and off, is it can make or break a day. You understand? Because we can wake up with grudges from the day before. We can have anxiety. I didn't even know what anxiety was years ago, but I experienced it, but I never had a clue what it was. Right? Minor anxiety. Stress. And the biggest thing that meditation helps you with is getting out of that go 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 mentality. You understand? That go 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 mentality. It's that go go mentality, that fast, fast, like quick, 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 what do we do? Is flipping bullshit. All right, it's flipping bullshit because you don't think, you don't take time to breathe. You don't think, all right, it's like that book, The One Thing. Let me show you this book, fucking amazing book, right? This talks about the fact that like everyone's doing so many different things, got so much going on, trying to do so much. But what's the most important thing? Meditating, spending that 5 minutes with yourself to breathe will allow you to think in that way. Like, hold on, what's the best thing to do? I know I can do all the madnesses in the work and whatever, but what's the best thing to do? What's the most important thing? What's my priorities? It starts helping you think bigger and better, right? So that's what the meditation does. And then from there, listen, I do get stuck into work from that. I mean, I will try and look at and read my affirmations quickly. If I'm on the way to the gym, I might listen to it or think it, or I might like pull it up on my laptop quick before if I'm having like a easy starting day, which is normal. I don't think you have to rush into work really and truly. I don't think there's even any benefit to that unless you're missing something. Do you understand? Unless you're like behind on things, unless you're struggling, unless you've got a part of your issue is that you're overdue, like things are past due, you ain't getting things done. But at that point, sometimes I have days like that, and I need shit to get done, so I'm straight into it. And some days I can take time, I can read out the manifestations, but I'm never too far away from my goals anyway. And that's one thing I want to highlight. I've got books all over the place. I got this one. I got one there. I got the Uncover Daily Journal over there. I've got flipping whiteboard there. I got, I'm on my laptop. So I'm never far away from my goals. I always, I write them down regularly again and again. I'm never far away. I've got a sticky note just to see it here. So boom, I'm never far away from the goals anyway. So I ain't got to do it every single day. Although some would argue that that would help, right? But I'll read them. I'll glance over them. I'll have some interaction with them every single day, right? And I do a bit of that with my meditation. If you want to know more about my meditation, that could be a separate video. But so that's what I do from there, and I get stuck into work. But one thing I wanna include in and not forget is I pick up gems from everywhere, right? If I hear a gem, I pick it up, and what I do is I implement. That's what makes me different. I implement it straight away. I don't think too much as long as I know that it's beneficial. And I heard it in a podcast that probably we wouldn't even like think I'd hear it from, but I won't even bring that up. Or I don't want to spiral on a different topic. But I heard on a podcast and he's saying that like he likes to manage what he lets into his brain and his mind in the first 30 minutes of the day and the last 30 minutes of the day. And I thought that's fucking sick. That is powerful because we all understand the subconscious. And a while ago, I learned that, when you're closest to your subconscious is in the morning when you just wake up and when you're about to go sleep. Because think about it, when you're about to sleep, or what are you doing? You're transferring into a different state of mind, a completely, that is your subconscious state. Like there, literally, you're not conscious, right? So, when you just wake up and when you go to sleep. So I try to manage what I'm listening to, and I'll try and listen to things like maybe Bible verses or affirmations, and I just put them in my headphones. Sometimes I'm not even really taking in what's going on because I'm just doing my work, but I'm listening and I'm feeding it in before I start listening to any music, before I start listening to any podcasts, which I don't do as much whilst working anyway, or anything else, right? Or any content or whatever. Now, some days are perfect, exactly like how I just mentioned. Some days are a little bit off. One thing might be slightly tweaked, something, whatever. I'm not perfect, but generally that's what I do. Now, let's round it up here. What's the real gem here? What's the real lesson? The real lesson is that personally, most of us who are trying to be better people do need some kind of morning routine, right? And a morning routine should not make or break you unless you're behind. You know, you're really behind schedule. You're really like, like you're really in some sort of survival mode, and that whole go, 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 that even just that energy, I don't think that really helps that much. I'm trying to say to you, I don't think that really helps that much, if I'm being honest with you. So, like, personally, I would have some sort of morning routine. However, the trap you don't want to fall into is having a long ass morning routine for me personally. Because when you start going, and what I learned from like making a mistake myself is when you go into having that 30, 40 minutes, even an hour, sometimes they can creep up when you don't even realize, right? But an hour in the morning, like that's it gets a bit, and that's when we get a bit tricky. You understand? Because the morning is a powerful time for me. I wake up around, recently it's been a bit, to be honest with you, but between 4:30 and 5:30, right? So I wake up between 4:30 and 5:30, and I do that because I want to get a bit of a foot in early, and also I know in the morning I'm more focused. No one's awake. I just feel like there's just distractions are just gone. It's just me. I can focus. You understand? So I wake up at that time, and yeah, and when you wake up at that time, you start doing work, and you realize that how productive you can be. An hour is a long time. Do you understand? So 30 minutes to hour. Now my goal is probably to get to a place where I can spend that hour with myself in the morning, or that 30 minutes, or at least 30 minutes with myself in the morning, and not feel like, I've got to keep going, and I've got to do this, I've got to do that, I've got that in the first, right? But for most of us, when you're still getting it together, you're still building, then when it starts getting longer than 30 minutes, I think it can be a bit distracting. And there's that hungry state in the morning, right? Some of my best thoughts come after I just meditate, I just wake up, some of that best energy, and I want to put that into my work so I can be productive and get things done. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope this has helped you, and I've gone down a lot of different angles, but I hope this has given you a bit of an idea, a bit of my experiences, and hope you can take that and make what you want of it. All right. Peace and love, love and peace. Boom.